Last time on the Tales from Tenrei, the party fled Sesto's mansion and another piece of the artifact in tow, as they are pursued by a small group of the followers of the Risen, who have tracked them by an innocuous amulet the party acquired in the mansion. Luring the cultists into a nearby bar, they defeat their pursuers with the aid of an undercover Commonwealth secret intelligence agent, Sirik Hall. Sirik and the party flee Elkarsis with the aid of Captain Briarfoot, and make their way to the secret CSI base, known only to a select few. Magically sworn to secrecy, the party arrives at the Auroria asteroid shoals only to find cultist ships lying in wait. The party, through daring heroics, barely defeat the enemy ships and arrive at the secret Auroria base. Sirik and the party share intel on the cult and the artifact, as well as concerns about a mole within the CSI. 3 new locations of interest have been presented to them. A cultist leader, Confessor Pennant, disguises themselves as a priest of air on the planet Thucydides. Ancient ruins potentially housing information about the artifact on the planet Oleon far out in the Verge. An artifact fragment stolen from the royal vaults of Ulrich in Durkenheim and taken to Vitern in the Lawless Tumult. We join the party as they discuss their next course of action. Where will their journey take them next? Find out on today's exciting episode of the Tales from Tenrei.
So Sirik is sort of, what do you think our next course of action should be?
Wait a minute. I don't even know where the hell we are. What happened? How are we in the ship?
Nice to have you back.
God damn it, Johnny. Did Johnny black me out again? Did he say anything stupid?
Johnny chuckles in your head.
You bastard. Always know the worst moments, don't you?
But did you die?
So
if you did, you're alive now.
Your compatriots sort of fill you in that you guys are in a Commonwealth secret intelligence listening post stationed in let's pull to the map.
Also, Lynx totally approves of Johnny's mayhem. It works out. As long as it's on our side, it works in our favor.
What happened? Was there like fighting going down?
A little bit, something like that.
All right, well, so as long as it was useful, I was useful somehow.
Let's see. Okay, so yes, you guys fled to this place, a asteroid. The secret base is in an asteroid field, Auroria. And actually, you know what? I forgot that I can do this. There's the information on it. But yes, you guys fled to here. And well, yeah. Next steps are being planned. I can
clearly I can't really help you much. Yeah, I'm just getting up to speed. I defer to the other denizens of our party, as I'm sure they're astute as they are, especially given our professor's recent adventures swinging across ships.
Wasn't there some underworld connection that we were checking out or something? Asteroids tend to hide those people.
So
did someone say underworld?
I will
know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy.
I will recap the new locations that were added to your map after your discussion with Sirik. So Vitern is the likely location of a fragment of the artifact that was reportedly stolen from Ulrich. I won't force that journal entry on you, since I imagine you're still looking at the Vitern journal entry.
Can you spell that, Ulrich?
Olorix.
Okay, cool, thank you. Wow, that just turned to Clorox. Okay.
That's there. Another location, not the only other, but this Thucydides, little info on it there, is the location of a member of the cult, a higher ranking member of the cult, although it is unknown on what level, just above the cultists that you've been encountering. He is hiding out or openly in disguise or whatnot as a priest of Ear, which there's a journal entry for that god too. Not going to force that on you. But yes, that planet is sort of slightly out of the way of normal travel things. And the last location is actually a location that you guys have had information about before. Oleon, which out in the Verge is confirmed. You know that it is the location of some runes that are suspected to contain information about the artifact. That is also where 841 had left the party to go travel to follow up on some leads that they had, some suspicions about leads that they had about their I guess their teacher, the one who taught them alchemy and raised them basically, and their connection to the Silent Lord and the Brotherhood of Hunters. Of course we've got Krakatoa down in the lower quadrant of the map, but that's Korok stuff that's not directly related to the artifact that you know of.
That we know of.
That you know of. I mean, it is related insofar as the relation between Korok's whip, the sigil, the god, the cultists being upset about that and whatnot. So it's related to greater events, but you don't know if there is anything specifically artifact related going on over there. But yes, Cyric is kind of wanting to know, like, what do you think that our next step should be in this endeavor?
Well, I've always wanted to visit a toxic well. It sounds rather adventurous. Nothing like a little bit of acid to loosen up the pores.
Yes, well, the problem with visiting Vytern is going to be getting into the tumult in the first place.
Why?
So, brief recap.
Pirates?
The tumult is a tumultuous region of the astral sea. It's constantly has storms going on. It's very dangerous. The only way that you can really get through is if you have a navigational chart, and those are very closely guarded secrets from like people who control the worlds within the lawless tumult. So you would need to get that information from like a crime boss, a syndicate leader, a pirate lord. So very difficult to do, and unfortunately, this is not information that like an underling would have. This would only be like the highest of the high that would have
Secrets
that.
in Underworld are a bit of a speciality of mine, truthfully.
Do we go for the one, like the place that's closest / easiest to get to, or is there any strategic reason why we need to go to like anywhere else?
What's most pressing?
So
Just an idea.
Vytern is the only confirmed location of a artifact fragment. Thucydides is more to deal directly with like cult stuff, and Oleon is to deal mostly with information regarding the artifact. So it's really what sort of tact do you want to take? Do you want to deal with cult stuff? Do you want to deal with gaining an artifact piece, or do you want to deal with like learning more about the artifact, or do you want to deal with Korok stuff? Do you want to head back to Tenrei? Like, you've got a lot of options here.
Well, I could always check in on the bartender, make sure he hasn't had somebody spill more soup in my bar.
well, based on where we're at, I know it. Like, Vytern is perhaps looks just a little bit Well, it looks a little bit closer than Olarix, but what if we went to Olarix to get information about? Because if it was stolen from there, we're hearing, oh, Vytern is the likely location. Like, would we want to? Like, Olarix is not too far from Vytern and is in a safer location, perhaps easier to get into.
Can we get into the lawless tumult without directions or a guide?
No. No,
So to
you
do
will
that,
die.
we need to get that first, right?
We would need to find a guide. So,
Do we have any favors we can call in? Who owes us one?
Well, I know people. Perhaps I might know someone.
yeah, if you have any connections to yeah, that would be
This is
perfect.
kind of my specialty.
Yeah. What about Captain Tuskert or Cold Iron or?
Do you think Briarfoot would know anyone? Since Briarfoot sort of
Oh no, I do not deal with the brutes, the violent despots of the lawless tumult.
Would I have any connections?
Yeah. There's a person that you used to know that you don't like very much, but isn't here anymore. That was a syndicate boss in the lawless tumult.
While everyone's discussing this, I'm kind of like off in the corner doing my, whatever links thing, and I'm like, when I find it and inform the party without the reason why I might have these connections. Just, I know a guy.
Well, we all know people.
Well, it
Even the
seems
professor knows people.
it seems that
I don't know anything.
it seems like whatever direction we're heading into, we, especially given the possibility of a mole existing and the ambushes that we've been experiencing, I think it would behoove us to travel to acquire some false identification and perhaps some ability to better cloak our ship. To which Briarfoot says, yes, you may be referring to Jetsam, I assume? Are you familiar? Someone of your secretive nature surely has been there before. Yes, I have a few contacts and dealings with some of the people in Jetsam, although that was before my time undercover. It's been quite some time. Well, I believe that we would certainly be able to get a hold of false identifications there, but the availability of upgrading my ship will largely depend on if Lihan is still in operations there. Last I heard, the entire station was under repairs.
Well, then that means that they should be well equipped to do upgrades then, because that's what they're doing there.
Certainly, there are individuals, specifically my friend Leon is more than capable of upgrading the ship, but it will really depend on whether or not she has the supplies and the free time, given the state of the place.
Yes. Could we find out?
We could head there. It is scant week and a half journey from where we are now. Unfortunately, it is off of beaten paths. It would be quicker to fly there directly without taking any of the charted courses. I, being dashing rogue of my renown, happen to know the location and ways to dock with this location, although it is a bit on the secretive side. It is not completely unknown, but only people who are on the level, as they say, are aware of its precise location.
Ooh, aren't you a coy one?
Here is some,
We'll lead the way.
here's some info about Jetsam, which I will read aloud as well. Jetsam is a planetoid nestled within an asteroid belt just beyond the borders of the Commonwealth. Near the arcane flow that serves as a major route of trade, the planetoid is veiled by a perpetual shroud of cosmic dust and outfitted with large engines that allow slow movement within the surrounding belt. Its surface, pockmarked with ancient impact craters, houses a small but bustling black market in the shadows of an abandoned mining colony, where outlaws strike deals under the watchful eyes of mercenaries. Its interior hides a labyrinthine network of tunnels and caves where smugglers stash their illicit goods. The atmosphere is toxic to most creatures, forcing visitors to rely on sealed suits for survival. While not nearly as well known, populated, or welcoming as Tenrei, it has a similar reputation and is something of an open secret among free spacers. Proximity to routes of major trade between the Commonwealth, the Corporate Alliance, and the rest of the Charted make it the ideal place for smugglers and other outlaws who operate outside the laws of Civ space but lack the brutality and depravity of the denizens of the lawless tumult.
Also, that does sound like my kind of place to be.
I'm sure that you would enjoy it greatly. Just be sure to keep your passenger in check, no?
Look, we've had discussions about this. It's okay. It's only every once in a while happens. Nobody died, right?
Well,
Nobody died.
nobody that was not intended to die, no.
Nobody that we wanted to stay alive.
Good, sir. What's the harm? Don't worry about Johnny. Johnny's he's an old chum of mine. He's a pal. You know, he's the best of the best. An asshole sometimes, to be sure. But
I like Johnny.
I hope you heard that, Johnny. You are an asshole.
Johnny's my favorite.
He again chuckles to himself in your head.
Johnny, you do have to tell me what you did.
Johnny's my favorite one of the whole group. Like more than all of you.
Wow, I feel insulted now almost.
No. There's no, you and Johnny are you're a pair. No, you're not a pair.
2 peas in a brain.
Did
Yeah.
we just move to the asteroid?
The what?
Did you just move us to the asteroid?
Yes.
The Jetsam? Okay.
Oh, you did?
It is
Okay,
a
yes.
short 10 days, and another good reason to be heading here is you guys are running fairly short on supplies, like rations and stuff. So that is
I bet
definitely
Johnny stole all the biscuits again, didn't he? He has a weird obsession with biscuits.
He earned those biscuits on the ship. Attacking the ship.
It is a good thing that Icenia is not still here. She would be complaining about Johnny stealing the only flavorful food.
He is an odd one, isn't he?
So yes, the journey once you get into the asteroid field around Jetsam, there is a lot of like derelict ships, the not corpses, but the bones of large celestial creatures like whales and the other things that I can't think of their names right now, but the larger astral creatures.
Orcas.
Sure. And you can see once you get within a certain range of it, you sort of pass through this like shimmering energy field, after which point you are able to see the planetoid with a, like, even from the distance, a visible haze of some sort of like noxious gas over it, because of the way that the astral sea works, where things are kind of more like your high seas adventures or whatnot. The atmosphere of this place sort of like drifts off of it from the top and then also from the bottom, as if like you've got like a fog machine sort of like spreading out to a lower altitude. It's a quite interesting effect, but when the skip gets close enough to start docking, Briarfoot says, I only have one environmental suit, so I will need to go ahead to the dockmaster and retrieve some loaner suits for you. Please wait in the ship, the ship's air envelope, and try not to breathe any of this nasty, nasty fumes.
No, believe me, I had no intention of going out into that soup at any point in time.
So, yeah, I'm not gonna make an item for it because they are loaner suits. You'll have to give them back when you're done here. But you all have so these environmental suits are really more like, I don't know, a cloak. There's a specific type of cloak that I'm trying to think of, but they're a cloak. Instead of a hood, though, there's a silver ring that goes around the collar that has that produces a bubble of air that is keeping you guys from inhaling the toxic stuff. And the cloak itself seems to be creating a skin tight, or I guess clothing tight envelope of some sort of protection. You can see that the toxins don't touch you. Yeah, the dock itself has a number of ships varying in size from very small to decent but not large sized, in all of them like very heavily customized. There's like mining or miner ships, there's transports, there's traders, there's a lot of smuggler ships, and these are coming and going as you guys are waiting in the docks. Once you're able to disembark further in on the surface of the planetoid, at least, you see there's a number of like little structures that seem to be the remnants of the mining colony. They appear like uninhabited, like very much fallen into decay and corrosion from the atmosphere here. But one thing of interest that you notice is a unusual looking shop of sorts. It's got a big sign that says Winky's Air Shop, and it's sort of hovering just above the toxic atmosphere.
Subtle.
It's sort of slowly, I guess, flying around the surface of the planetoid above, at a decent height so as to not be corroding. But yeah, that's the only thing of like very interesting note. The Dockmaster's building here has the entrance to the to Jetsam proper, which, if you guys are ready to venture into the exciting world of the black market.
I always love markets, especially black markets. My favorite kind of color of a market.
Element. This is Lynx's element. He doesn't say that because he's not bringing it up too much, but the players can know, even if that's not information that's released explicitly to the characters.
Lynx, you... actually, Lynx and Shalim both see, not like, oh, I know that guy, but like somewhat familiar faces as you are, passing people who are going in and out of the tunnels, tunnels in the caverns.
Give them some handshakes as I go.
They sort of give you the side eye and
suspiciously
walk around you. Yeah, and you are at the end of the tunnel. You arrive in Jetsam, which is the current state of things. It looks like the flooring panels, a lot of them are like pulled up. There's issues like with a lot of the lighting, bulbs and whatnot sort of like burnt out. So they've got like temporary torches lit and whatnot. There are, people talking, walking around. I didn't populate the whole map with a bunch of tokens because I really was running up against the deadline with all this stuff. But yes, as you are like walking around, you notice that there are a lot of corridors and areas that are properly sealed off
love the
Cyric,
idea of a naughty alchemist.
I saw
what?
that one too. It's so funny.
Like, okay, naughty. All right.
So he's an alchemist. He's naughty.
Yes. So up here in the center of business here, there's two individuals, someone wearing a alchemical mask and another girl wearing like a fry cook's hat. They seem to be serving, street food. The street chef, she's like frying up and serving stuff that's also like out here on the buffet. Delicious smelling food that is mixed with the upsettingly acrid smell of whatever it is that the alchemist is serving right next to them. There are, other little vendors here and there. They've got like little stalls in the corner of things. It looks like there are other shops that are currently closed, also for repairs, but the what's the name of the shop? This is the Arcana and Errata, not erotica, errata. I just want to make sure that is communicated.
I don't believe you.
Shop is still open, as well as
But what if?
as well as some in the center of this place. There's like a little counter area for traveling merchants that come and go to set up, and right now there are two that are currently peddling their wares. Commerce seems to be slower than you would assume, as the station, while still populated, is Phil. I don't remember how to pronounce is it Voraviel? Voraviel. You have just started what is sure to be another miserable day for you. Not really having enough money to buy proper food. You're surviving off of the magical emergency rations of your duster.
Eating my cloak.
Your cloak. Oh God.
Cyric says that he is going to try and get in touch with some of his contacts and see what he can do about rustling up some false identifications. And Briarfoot is going to see if he can get in touch with Lehan.
I have 2 scrolls of disguise self, or if that comes up, and I wouldn't be surprised if it
Well,
does.
I am a chameleon anyways, so I can disguise myself.
Yeah, you've been pretty good at that.
So Jetsam is definitely not the sort of place that you would need to be in disguise. Like,
Everyone's sus here.
yeah, this is the sort of place where if somebody's like asking questions, they're like, I didn't see anything. Like, I'm blind and deaf. I have no idea what you're talking about. But yeah. So, Voraviel, I'm just gonna call you Vor. So Vor.
Yeah, there we go.
As you are, preparing for another irritating day, the relic inside of you suddenly ceases its background singing and expands throughout your body with a sharp jolt. It seems to be, it's almost as if it's upset or it's almost as though it wants to go somewhere. Like you're getting even though it can't physically do so, you're getting the impression that it's trying to like drag you in a direction.
Not again.
The polyhedron sort of draws you in the direction of the central market. Specifically, it seems to be highly interested in a silver-haired man. Okay, let's do this. Tycho, I want you to introduce yourself.
Tycho Tarun, the former history and things like that professor.
Things like that. Professor, are you drunk?
Formal education, Bunhua University. Former history professor and all things ancient civilizations.
Oh, you probably still have a job. You're just on hiatus. You just haven't
Yeah.
been
It's
there
an
in like a
extend-
year and a
It's a
half.
leave of absence. It's an extended leave of absence. You're on a sabbatical.
Sorry, you were saying, Matt?
Well, Tycho just basically wanted to. He had been learning and reading and teaching about adventures across the universe, and just one day was like, "Damn it, I'm getting too old not to have an adventure of my own." And so he kind of packed up his stuff. He has like basically a outdated, pretty crummy, like blaster pistol, like a one shot.
I see it. It's pretty awesome. I like the
Almost
aesthetic.
doesn't work, and yeah, charged off the battle.
Somewhere there's a
Nice.
classroom of students still waiting for you to come in, and they've been waiting just for a year and a half, sitting there.
There's also an archaeology department that is collectively breathing sighs of relief that they don't have to deal with him right now. All right, Shalim, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hello, the name's Shaloom Lucius Akbar, purveyor of secrets, owner, proprietor of the Winking Weird, trader in all manners of vices of all sorts, primarily for secrets and information. Used to be the heir of a corporate clan. Now got bored of it, just decided to go out and have some fun, and now I'm working with this married lot.
All right, next up, Korok.
I am Korok. I don't run from evil. Evil runs from me. My purpose is to protect the innocent, even if it costs me my own well-being. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Next up, we've got Lynx.
Lynx kind of like does the upward heads nod in your direction and just says, "Hey." But you pick up from everybody else that they don't really talk too much. They may have been involved in some sketchy shit in the past, but again, they don't really talk about it too much. You get the impression that they're like kind of sneaky and they're more someone who like observes and strikes than engages.
And finally, Furiosa.
So yeah, Furiosa is definitely a bit older than she looks, and has been, she was a traveler for a long time on a ship with a privateer, and for the past 10 years has been working for the Helping Hands, and was one of the original founders with Gideon.
So I am Varaviel. I am an ooze. I've been hopping around the charted, but apparently I am from beyond it. I did not know that choosing a plasmoid would make me this interesting, but Gamma's a great DM, so here we go. I have basically been awakened to sorceress powers, and I need some help, and I think you'll find some of that context today as Gamma rolls this out.
Helping Hands is all about helping.
Foraviel, as you are following this internal, like literally internal impulse, you are drawn to Tycho for some reason. And Tycho, as you notice this creature walking towards you, you see that it bears a striking, but not like identical resemblance to the Worldsmith statuette. Like it has a similar form.
Dear God! Dear gods!
And of note, yeah,
Did-
nobody
Your actual gods.
nobody really knows. I'm sure that there are some people out there aware of the potential existence of them, but none of you have ever heard or seen heard of or seen a plasmoid before. So this is a very strange creature.
I'm just like,
Looking out for my,
I'm just like,
mental
Hello.
model.
at this point, I'm just like, Professor, is that one of your students that died of boredom as reborn?
The
I think
the polyhedron, as you approach Tycho, sort of goes from expanding in all directions to sort of like a focused expansion, and then relaxes back into itself, as the two of you are now like pretty close, within 5 feet of one another.
Oh,
It is at this point that the rest of the party, well, I guess Shalim, Korok, are the only two there as well, notice this individual.
I'm munching on some street food, literally.
I'm sort of measuring him and looking at him through different optical pieces. Totally oblivious.
Professor, your student already died once. You're going to kill him again?
What? Don't disturb me.
Oh, I see. He's in one of those moves now. Congratulations, sir. Seems like you've got yourself a new fan. By the way, how did you get to be so glowy? You have a profound skin texture. What did you use? What's your secret?
If you're not comfortable first person RPing, by the way, this is open to anyone. You can just like third person describe what your character does or says. Don't feel pressured.
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Professor, you're making him nervous.
Varaviel, I kind of back off, and the polyhedron ripples a bit within my body.
Don't mind the professor. He scares everybody, including his own students.
What are you, dear boy?
I am a plasmoid.
I can't say I've heard of that before.
We're fairly
Well,
rare in these parts. I've only
Well,
ever
that's
met one other.
Well, that's what did you say your name was?
Varaviel.
Well, I'm Shalim. Shalim Lucius Akbar. Delighted to be at your service, purveyor of secrets. You wouldn't happen to have any secrets, would you?
I contain multitudes.
Yes.
Ooh,
Just
you and I are
lots of
going to get
bacteria.
along. You and I are going to get along very well, clearly.
Has Furiosa ever seen a plasmoid?
No. Not even out in
So,
the
As
So
I
I-
say this,
yeah.
my eyes flash a
So
little
I
red
would-
too.
yeah, so I would be pretty, yeah.
I'm naturally a bag of holding,
So-
but no.
So you find yourself
What all
quickly
can I fit
swarmed
inside
by
you?
these people.
Oh dear.
I hope you're not.
How can my
hope you're
day
not-
get any worse?
Oh wait, what else happened in your day? Maybe
Oh,
how can we compare? How can we compare?
I've lost my arcane focus.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, that
No,
is
that's
a bad
rather
day.
painful. I understand
It's
that one rather
terribly-
well.
Terribly
They took
bad
my
day.
jelly staff. They took it.
Jelly staff.
Yep.
Was this like a part of you or connected to you by any chance? Or...
Oh, it's the only thing I've had since forever.
Oh, I see. Not literally connected. Okay.
The street
Connected to the past.
Oh, I see.
the street chef, who you've grown accustomed to her, not entirely friendly but not entirely insultingly quipping at you throughout your month stay here, since you've never been able to afford food from her. Are you finally found some friends there to perhaps pay your tab or help you get out of this place?
I told you.
Yeah.
We'll pay you back. And
Because I'm an ooze doesn't mean you can step on me.
Her husband goes, and she says, "Yeah, you're still invited to off a piece of yourself for a coin if you need it."
How much are we talking? What's the tab like here? How much have you racked up?
So I mean, it's not much. They feed you out of pity, of course. But yeah, I mean, like 10 gold would probably cover your scant expenses, which is to speak nothing of the 150 gold that you owe for the room that you've been renting.
Oh,
dear.
actually, I got an idea. I have that book of bourgeois. I'm thinking of like using it to like, potentially like con these people out of your debt.
Book of bullshit? Book of bullshit, you
Yeah,
mean?
yep, that's the one. Yeah. My dear,
That's a good book.
if you look closely here in this book, it shows you that this is a new law for this station that you cannot be preying on plasmoids. It is against the law.
I thought plasmoids got to stay free wherever they were at.
Exactly. It's a law. The Commonwealth will beat your asses for it.
All right.
Literally.
Go ahead, and so that'll be
They
your
send out the spankers.
use of this for the day. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say that this is gonna cause her to roll a What do we? We'll do DC 15 insight. So, unfortunately, she sees through your bullshit. Fortunately, fortunately, when she's met with like the slightest bit of resistance on it, she's like, "Oh, don't worry, we're not actually gonna call him on it."
All right, dear.
That's
What's her
really sweet
name?
of you.
Besides, I'm not the one you have to worry about.
Oh,
Okay.
who?
The individual who runs the not the inn, but like rents the rooms here on the station is not currently here. But he's the one that you owe that 150 gold to. You've been sort of like, since he hasn't been here, he hasn't called your debt yet, but
Well, it's time to just run then.
You can't find me.
Are there other ways of working off the debt? Any jobs that you need done? Anything you need help with? We are known for being quite helpful.
I'd like to. Does sorry.
Can we barter with her, like
There's
for
more-
items?
Is more like tactical, like tactile. You can grab a hold of.
Oh yes, I have pseudopods. I can be almost anything.
he's
Okay.
he's
Oh my god.
he's like he is an ooze creature type, so think like gelatinous but like with a lot of surface tension, and can harden. I guess in your humanoid form you can harden yourself.
Okay.
Actually, you have to harden yourself. That's how you get your AC bonus. So just kidding. Yes.
I think.
Is the professor just feeling out his biceps?
Yeah, like Tycho's
It's like a
coming
candied.
to his senses a little bit, but also like in his like one track mind focus. He'll throw 150 gold pieces onto the counter or whatever is owed, and kind of grabs Vor by the arm and takes him to a table and pulls out the statuette. Like,
Oh,
you look just like this.
I kind of like tap you on the shoulder a little bit, like, my man. Why, thank you.
Professor, we could have just
thank you
walked
for
out
stepping
without
up.
paying.
if,
We could have
if
walked out
I
without
had
paying,
eyes,
you
I'd be
lost.
blinking rapidly.
He's got like the blinders and everything.
But
His
Professor, we could have just walked out without paying. What? I'm just like sputtering in the background. Like, what is wrong with you? Lot?
Surely.
Vraviel, I would like for you to roll me a perception check. So you rolled a 6 on your perception. So, but yes, he slams that statue, and it does look somewhat like you. I mean, it lacks a face. It's got the smooth face thing of you. Oh shoot! You know what? Actually, you should be rolling a history for me. Roll a history
Oh,
check.
okay. Yep.
You
One
can make
second.
this with advantage.
Oh.
Right. Okay. We're definitely going with the 11 on that one. So there, you don't know what they mean, and you can't place the exact ones before, but there's writing at the base of this statue that is, again, not the same runes, but the same, like, obviously the same language or source of writing as is on the relic that you house. You've also seen this sort of thing in when you were still part of the flotilla, some of the relics from your home world.
Oh, connections to past. Oh gosh. I relax a bit, lean back as the professor starts to ramble and kind of go on the professor jumble. I start looking at the statue, and as I do that, another hand reaches into one of my cavities in my torso, and I withdraw the polyhedron, and I kind of gently extend it to the professor as he continues his rambles.
The polyhedron, as you pull it out of yourself as it gets, as it is now closer to this statuette. It begins to, sing as it often does to you, but as it does so, the runes on it and the runes on the statuette sort of shimmer at the same time with a very dull green glow. Before there is a very momentary bright flash between the two of them, the polyhedron sort of emitting short spikes for a brief instant, and then coming back to rest as the singing goes from the crescendo that it hit briefly back to a more pleasing hum, and the statuette after this crumbles into dust with the wisp of some sort of strange, like, remnant of arcane.
I hope I don't have to pay for that.
I'm sure Jacob was absolutely fascinated by the disintegration of this statue.
Those of you, I don't remember who it is, but those of you that have fragments of the log pose artifact, you can feel them. So since it's just Tycho and Boraviel aside elsewhere, anyone else who's not present that has one of the artifact fragments feels a warm burst of like heat, not hot, but like warmer than ambient, coming from the bag or pocket or wherever that is stored. And looking at it, those two discs that you guys have, whoever has them, have faintly, like the etchings in them are now like glowing very faintly. The inside of this planetoid is obviously, like I said, the lights aren't properly working all the time, and it's generally dim because it's a cavern inside a planet in space. So you're able to see this faint glow from these engravings. They do not fade. They are now just constantly there, although the increase in temperature fades fairly quickly.
That's never happened before.
As this strange incident comes to an end and you guys are, I guess reestablishing your wits or whatnot, Briarfoot comes walking up to you, since you guys are conveniently all in the same place, with a female Fearbolg
What is that?
with
Ooh.
him. My friends, may I introduce you to the great shipwright Leon.
Hello there.
She's got her goggles down over her eyes, and pushes them up real quick to like give you guys the once over. She squints her eyes as she does so. It seems like she might actually need these to see, but for some reason has decided to examine you guys without the goggles, and then pushes them back down, and she says, "Oh, Briarfoot, you certainly keep strange company."
I'm noticing her and Gideon had the same accent.
I'm trying to do Scottish for her, but I
love it.
always slides into Irish. I don't. It is very difficult.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to ask is that, like,
it's very difficult.
Are they related?
No.
Oh my god. Oh no.
So the accents the accents that I use on characters are representative of them having like their home language accent. So like Briarfoot's got a thick halfling accent is what that is.
Which is French, right?
Yes.
Like Lumiere French. I love it.
Leon has a
She looks like an artificer.
Terran. She's got a thick Terran accent. And yeah, I mean, she's a shipwright. So, Leon, after, making a remark about you guys being a strange assortment of weirdos, says,
Well, I mean, we kind of own it at this point.
well, if I try to do a pitched up Scottish accent, it's going to turn into Irish. So just pretend that this
Go with
voice
Irish,
is
cool.
higher pitched than what I am doing.
All right.
As I was telling Briarfoot, the upgrades to your ship are going to be somewhat costly. Now, Briarfoot and your strange, sneaky friend have put down a large amount of the money, but essentially between the upgrades to the ship and restocking supplies, there is a deficit of 5,000 gold that needs to be paid. From the original 12,000 has been negotiated and paid by the other two. 5,000 remains though. They're out of funding.
Would you be willing to give a discount for such fine folks as ourselves, such fine weirdos?
She turns to Briarfoot and says, you spoke the truth then, didn't you? And turns back to you. Listen, we've already negotiated down from a very significant price. Between the favors owed and the future favors promised by Briarfoot and Cyric, actually, he wouldn't be known as Cyric here. By whatever Cyric's cover name is, I can't think of it. The 50,000 that it would have cost has been down to 12,000. Now, as I've said, they've already paid most of it, but we're short 5,000, so I'm turning to you all to cover that.
Wait, can you blame a man for trying?
Well, it seems that our account is settled then. It'll...
Well, unfortunate. I was
Between-
hoping to...
Between the attention that I've got to split with fixing the station and... It's slipping back to Irish. Between the attention that she needs to split, repairing the station, and the time to get and apply the materials to the ship, it will be 2 weeks that you guys are without transport. However, she is willing to lend you essentially like a rental craft, nowhere near as big as the skip, which is itself a small craft, but large enough to get you around in the near area should you need to do so. Voraviel, at this point in time, you have, witnessed enough of what's going on here to realize that these individuals are in fact the legendary. They are the well-known Helping Hands freelance company. At least they are a part of it.
Legendary.
Yeah, we are legendary.
Infamous.
Yeah, you could say that too. I prefer infamous personally.
So, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, the card that you got in the recommendation was from,
Yep.
and you guys as part of the company would remember this as well, a dwarven comet cracker by the name of Bjorn. You had done some work with him, spying essentially on his husband to try to find out if he was cheating. He was. There was a very messy divorce, which you guys also assisted with, and that is why you come very highly recommended by Bjorn. Anyway, continue.
I look at the professor, I look around the room a bit, and then I take the only other thing that I've got in my possession, besides scimitars, or, well, I will have scimitars, and I lay the card down on the table, and I look the professor in the eye, and I'm like, I hope this doesn't disintegrate as well. Is this you?
Well, the professor's known for disintegrating people by boring them to death. Well, other than that, you should be fine.
It appears that in Gideon's absence, Shalim's aggression has been focused at you, Tycho.
the professor's a good person. He's just
Nigga's
he's just
probably oblivious to all of the chit chat.
the professor's a great person. Don't get me wrong. I love him a lot, but he tends
I
to
said
ramble a little.
I said aggression, not hatred.
Not to worry. Gideon is still the fool of us all. You'll meet him someday. Don't worry. Sounds kind of like our friend the shipwright here.
What was the card that he pulled out? Was it our card?
Oh, it's got a business card. I am so sorry. Yeah, it's the business card of y'all's organization, the Helping Hands. This was given to me by somebody that I met here when I first came.
We're famous.
Yeah, apparently y'all helped him out. His name was Bjorn. Yeah, and he told me that if I needed to get my arcane focus back, that I should get in contact with y'all.
By Jove.
Ooh, who?
A man in the crowd when you say, not in the crowd, sitting at one of the other tables enjoying his meal. When you say "by Jove," he looks up and like
Mind your business.
and looks back down.
Is your name
Nosy
Joe?
bastard.
Joe? Is that you?
Yes.
What a terrible time to have that name.
Well, sorry. Yeah. Continue your interaction.
Oh yeah, I mean I've just kind of like asked the professor something. Oh yeah.
I guess we have to help this strange man.
I honestly am just fascinated by the fact that he is a plasmoid who actually likes the professor.
I haven't had anybody to talk to except that lady for the past month.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. So you need a little bit of variety in life. I understand that.
Variety is the spice of life.
I still kind of want to con that lady. Isn't that of me?
No, it's just all in good fun for you.
She forgave a food tab out of the kindness of her heart. Like, what more
That's
do
why
you
I want
want
to
from
call
her?
Easy mark.
That's why I want to con her, exactly.
Yeah. So you can see just how far.
Let's take advantage of this person's goodwill.
Where's the
rude.
line?
We'll-
Where's the line?
We'll get to you conning her in a bit, but let's.
I'll
same
never know where
hands
the
that help
boundaries
also
are
hurt.
if I don't cross them first.
You see these hands? They help. One helps, one hurts. The hand that giveth, the hand that taketh.
There's a balance.
Actually, quick question for Korok: do you consider yourself to be a part of this Helping Hands company, or are you just party to them?
He's
Oh.
like,
You're one of us now, right?
Yeah,
He's like,
I'm gonna join the party full-heartedly.
kind of hilarious if you're just kind of like, I'm so sick of these people. They just drag me around everywhere.
That makes me so thrilled to hear. I think that you're exactly what we've been needing.
Link's
For a
mumbles
while
about
now.
having to split
Like you.
reports but for more people and is kind of grumbly about it, but
And this,
he's
at
not
this point,
actually
I'm like-
doing any aggression towards you, just like being grumpy.
A dark
And
cloud.
I just at
sort
this
of.
point, like, I'm like, oh, you're part of the company. I just thought these fools were dragging you around forcibly against your will. Oh, good to know it's of your free will. Then to
I've grown very fond of these folks.
Yeah,
We
we're
like you
awesome.
too. Well, I like
like
you.
you.
I think everybody likes you. You're pretty
yeah,
cool.
I like you too.
You're all
You
right.
seem pretty nice.
Why, thank you.
So it seems I don't have an NPC to insert myself here, so this is just DM talking now. It seems as though you, the Helping Hands freelance company, I think that's what the full name is, are being offered a job, or rather there's been no offer of payment yet, but this person is in
Besieged.
need. Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about Voraviel?
Yes.
I think
Okay.
that simply being involved in this one may be payment enough, given the polyhedron and all,
So
and its
long as
effect, and its effect on the on the artifacts that we are currently searching
So long as I
for.
can con the fool of an alchemist, I'll be happy.
Well, I mean, I'll let you all study it if you want, but it can't give it to you. It just won't leave my side.
Oh, I don't think anybody wants to possess it.
Would love if Gideon was here, but if Gideon was here, he would be asking you to describe the nature of your problem and what can be done.
Actually, wait, can I call
The
Gideon?
nature of the problem,
Can I
Gideon,
call
is you.
him?
What can be done is we can punch you.
Unfortunately, your gossip stones will not reach that distance across the entire charted. Now, there are ways to communicate across that distance, spells and services, and certainly there are services you could make
Could we
use
find
of
the
here.
service? Could we find the service? Because I think that Gideon really should know about this.
What part specifically?
Well, yeah, I would. I assume. Yeah, Gideon.
Well,
Does Gideon know? Gideon does know Tycho, right? Or no, Korok? Has that all been? Has Gideon?
Yes.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that. Okay, so that's all. So that's all clear. But yes, this with our new Plasmoid frontier, I feel this is something that Gideon.
Right. Okay.
Should know.
That is a service that you can hire, but let's do that in a second.
Okay.
Let the poor man get out his problems.
Okay.
Well, so I arrived here by unfortunate accidents. Thankfully, I met Bjorn. He helped me out a bit as I got on my feet, introduced me to the lovely lady that we all seem to enjoy the company of. But I was held captive. It was really not great. I was subjected to torture, but given the nature of my oozy body, it's a bit hard to do that. So a little satisfying on that end. They were very interested in what y'all are now interested in. They were trying to get it out. I don't know why. It's been here for quite a while. I've been looking for answers regarding it. So yeah, that's the nature of my problem. And when they took me, they took my staff. My jelly staff has been with me since the polyhedron has. So yeah, if y'all can help me out, I will disintegrate all the statues that you put in front of me.
Well, I'm not sure the professor's thrilled about the statue being disintegrated, but you seem like a good fellow, and therefore we will help you.
Hooray! Braviel's strange, translucent blue skin ripples with excitement.
I still want to know your secrets, though, just so you know.
I kind of chime in and say, well, we may want to run this by Gideon. This is a pretty big deal, and it's not something that we had anticipated. So I would love to tell him and get some guidance, because he may know something about this that we don't know.
I'm sure Gideon's fine with it. He let in strangers to try to kill us. After all, I mean, this man hasn't tried to kill us yet.
Oh,
I mean, this is a
suggesting
client.
This is a client, and I'm not. And while I don't necessarily think that Gideon would disapprove, I think that he would be just very interested.
Sure,
and could help. I think
he can learn. He can learn about how not to pick people who try to kill you. Into your home.
So,
good
all right,
point.
before you have to leave, Shalim, let's take care of you trying to con, and then.
I'm just joking.
Okay.
I'm just joking. It's fine. Yeah, you can just keep going.
I've decided that their names are Risty and Risty's husband. Anyway, so yeah, okay then. There are two services that you could make use of to communicate across, many crystal spheres. One of them would be to make use of a let's call it a arcane service. Leave that a little mysterious. And then the other one would be to just send a courier. The courier is by far the cheaper option. It'll cost you, let's see, let me just check the distance there. It will cost you, you guys are, yeah, it's not too far from a major trade. So that'd be like 250 to curry a message back to Tenrei. The arcane communication would be much more like it would be a lot quicker, like in the talking about over the span of like some minutes, maybe an hour, whereas the courier would be on the order of like a month or more.
How much is the arcane?
The arcane is 2,800.
Ouch.
No way.
The arcane, however, allows you to transmit. Basically, it'll let you send up to 10 pounds of material in addition to a letter. And I'm not going to explain how it does that unless you guys pay for it, but that service is available and it is expensive.
Can I also embed a little prank for
Yes.
Gideon?
Absolutely.
Yes, you can.
What would you like to embed? I'll write down what you guys are sending.
The prank basically is just gonna be a projection of one of those people who try to attack us. It's just be like, "Hi, let me in. I'm totally a nice person who won't kill you. Nobody could be stupid enough to perceive me as a threat."
What is that, like a minor illusion?
Yeah.
And then after it, it'll just be like, it'll be like, haha, I gotcha.
And then-
So that's
and then
what
after
what
that,
we've been
like-
dealing with.
It's
that's-
like, yeah, exactly. It's exactly
So-
me.
Yeah, so this is what we've been dealing with. Hope things have been better on your end.
If you want, you can just tell me the gist of the message, or you can like type it out.
Yeah.
And
So that'll be the prank first. Yeah. The gist is going to be the information about, is it going to be the information about Varaviel, and exactly what happened, like an exact, play-by-play of what happened with the, I just thought maybe he would know, maybe he might know something, and then be able to say, like, does he think it's a good idea to, to take on Varaviel as a client? And what does he think about, can he look into any information about, so the job that we're doing is for these, to find these artifacts.
I might need to reiterate that Gideon is not your boss. He is a co-owner.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Okay,
but
just making sure.
But he's also like part of the, but he's also part of it. But no, this is not.
All right, this is more than a couple words. So type out what you want the sentence to say.
Well, just like, can he find out information maybe from Renee?
The way that this service works, you pay the cost. The man who operates this messaging service, like it's almost like got the prestige of a post office. He draws a wand from within the folds of his uniform, or from within like the part where the breast pocket, and taps on it. Taps and then draws a straight line down on a large metal tube behind him, which then a hatch opens up, and revealing that this is some sort of like ethereal, extra-dimensional pneumatic tube system. So, message sent, tube goes off. Presumably, a pipe appears out of nowhere at its destination and launches a tube out of it, or a capsule out of it. So what are you guys doing about the situation? What are you doing to help your client now?
Get information about the people that captured him, and anything that could lead us to.
All right, what information can you give them, Varaviel?
Yeah,
all I know is that they were cultists. There was language that I did not understand being spoken, and they were very, very interested in what was inside my body. It was very strange that they didn't kill me. They just kept me there for quite a while and tried all sorts of methods to get the secrets of my ooze. So I narrowly escaped just very random. It was not. I did not expect to, but I capitalized on the fact that they were waiting for somebody to arrive to help get this out. And yeah, it was not a fun time.
They were waiting on something that they referred to as the.
Whoa.
Hang on. They said that they were waiting on something called the the conduit, an individual known as a conduit.
Yes, the conduit. There was one word that I kept hearing, which was conduit, and that was the only thing that I got out of them besides torture. So
Okay.
yeah, it was not a fun time before I came here.
The the description of his captors does in fact match the description of the cultists that you have encountered.
Yes.
And the he knows the not precise but pretty close to precise area that he was being held in, which is about 7 days journey back towards the Aurora asteroid belt, which Cyric, hearing about this, concludes that this might explain why there were cultist ships in the Aurora belt. They may have not been necessarily waiting for you guys specifically. They might have just been there because they're in that area. Cyric
So
also.
it may have just been a coincidence that we ran into them then.
It is possible, but it's still more than possible that there is a mole. Cyric is able to get his hands on some fake identifications for you guys, but that is also going to take some time since the official magical seals and whatnot have to be forged, and that takes no small amount of time to be done. They will definitely be done by the time that the ship is ready to go. Yeah, the skip is ready. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned the upgrades that are being done to the skip are basically stealth mode, which it grants the ship the ability to become invisible, except to magic, of course, for an hour at the cost of 1 spell slot expended into the helm and reducing your speed to just like basic drifting speed. So like if you're in a flow, you'll be going the speed of the flow. If you're in still waters, you won't move at all, that sort of thing.
So didn't she say, Leon say that we had a smaller ship like at our disposal in the meantime?
Yes, you have what is essentially like a shuttlecraft. Like it's not like a personal craft. It is a small craft which can hold you guys. Like it probably could hold a max of like 10 people if you really fit 5 people comfortably.
And could we take one of those to go and check out this location where Raviel is being held while our ship is being?
Yes, but only if somebody has the ability to pilot small vessels.
Oh, does Briarfoot not have the ability to pilot small vessels?
Briarfoot won't be coming with you. He's not part of the helping hands, and also he needs to be here for ships and loading supplies and whatnot.
Do any of us...
Spoiler alert, for Aviel, you are able to... That was one of the things you were granted by your backstory. You can pilot small vessels.
Fuck yeah!
I can fly things. I know how to do these things.
Oh well, you are definitely an asset to the team. Make sure that gets added into the note to Gideon.
You went from interesting to interesting and useful.
Hooray! The best kind of traits to have.
It is a cramped week of travel with, what is there, 7 of you?
It is more cramped for those of us who do not sleep.
It also becomes apparent that your new compatriot has to loses his solidity when he is resting.
Yeah,
Oh,
I need to be put in a jar.
I was gonna say, so are we just like all like sort of like, yeah, like sliding around in that, or
It's
No,
just like
stick
Odo.
is?
Do you need a bucket?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
get me a
blue.
bucket.
He's blue.
Right. The journey back to the Auroria Belt is somewhat tense because you guys are having to drive slow, and Vraviel doesn't pilot the craft with the same sort of fluidness that Briarfoot pilots his ship with. So I'm not saying seasickness, but not like the easiest ride. No offense to your steering, but you don't like have problems with like having an inner ear, so this is not like something that you really care about in your maneuvering.
Ah, yes.
But you actually, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I would like everyone to roll for me a perception, and Roar, I want you to roll. We'll do dexterity plus proficiency for your. Oh wow, you guys are killing it.
Pretty perceptive over here.
All right, and that roll that I had you make was to represent your piloting of the ship.
Oh.
But we didn't actually need to worry about it because the rest of right. Okay, so your rolls. As you guys are traveling through, re-entering the asteroid belt, you're on high alert, and you spot on a couple occasions more wasp ships sort of chilling out behind asteroids. The dexterous maneuvers, or I guess the experts tacking of the rental vehicle have prevented you guys from coming into conflict or being noticed by these ships, but they are around. Not in great quantities. There's just like one here, another there. Boraviel eventually, actually, roll me a wisdom check, not save, just a check.
Yep.
Sweet deal. Okay, yeah, no, you have no problem of, you were drifting weightlessly in this field for like 8 hours after your escape. So you have no trouble remembering the area that you escaped from. And you guys come upon a medium-sized asteroid that has like almost like what are they called? Coves, like the cave that opening to the shore that you can like sail a boat into. Yes, there's a little cove on this asteroid, and you can see that there is some sort of source of light. Looks like maybe a torch or something further in. You have with that piloting check, you have absolutely no problem sailing in and docking. You guys don't notice anyone keeping an eye out around this, so you are fairly certain that you have arrived unnoticed. And here you are, exiting your ship, walking a little bit further in, wading out of the phlogiston. I don't know how I want to describe that, but you disembark and you are now at the entrance here. So, for you recognize this door. You know the other side of it well. This leads to the area where you were imprisoned and tortured.
Ah, this is where they kept me. This is where I was supposed to be waiting for that one person, the conduit.
And you said you recognize the door. Like, what's on the door? But you said it was just Varaviel that recognized the door?
Varaviel is the only one who has been here.
Yeah. But the door itself, like, was there anything like that made it recognize any symbols or whatever, or just kind of like you just?
Well, he knows it because he was trapped here.
Yeah.
It was the door that he slammed behind himself as he made his daring escape.
Yeah, I gotcha. Okay.
Starlight filters in through a external window further down the hall, and the soft torchlight is other than that is the only source of light in here.
So
Are
shall
there any noises or any sounds of activity other than us?
You can go ahead and roll a perception. And you guys are free to enter the closed door in front of you. My God. Korok, the place is devoid of any sort of activity at all. Tycho, however, this
Damn it.
there are signs of signs, I guess, sensory
anybody move?
input of of activity. You can hear barely, but still perceptible enough to your keen ears, the sounds of what might be like a hum of an engine or the hum of like a magical field, something like humming sort of ambiently throughout this place. And who wants to go into the room? I'll just move you.
Well, yeah, because I noticed.
I was
that
gonna go.
I thought, yeah.
I want to creep in behind with the little ray gun drawn.
All right. I don't know why I can't go in there. All right, there we go.
So are these like little holding cells in here?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
And
this
the
is
locked door.
Oh, who here's a lockpick?
Let's do it.
I would like for you to roll Thieves' Tools Dexterity.
All right.
Tycho, you saw down the hallway another locked door. That one more stone and decorated with some sort of etchings.
Recognizable etchings or just
You saw them in the.
No, I forget how to do it with dexterity.
That was with dexterity.
Oh, okay.
Roll wisdom to.
Me?
No, Tycho.
Okay.
oh, just a straight wisdom check?
Yeah, and then there you go, Lynx. The door is open.
The door is open.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yes, you recall where you've seen these runes before. In the crypt beneath Tenrei, the cultists, the altar that the cultists had erected had similar runes.
Damn it. More cultists. Oh, I was just saying I run back into the room to let everyone know that there's probably cultists at the end of the hall.
Oh shit, like the place that I'm walking towards?
Yeah.
Yes. As I mentioned, the door at the end is a large stone with some of those, what Tycho tells you. You wouldn't have recognized them were it not for Tycho's excellent memory that these runes were on an altar that the cultists had erected in the crypt underneath Tenrei.
I feel that once we open this door, we're going to have to fight a bunch of those rotten cultists. So I think we should prepare a absolute devastating bomb for them when we open this door.
I think you're correct. I think that is a wise idea. It just so happens I didn't prepare my spells today, because
What
I
purpose?
have a
distracted.
bomb.
So,
I have a smoke bomb, and I think if somebody has some oil, I'm assuming a flashbang would ignite that quite nicely.
Yeah, why not?
I might have something like that.
I'm out of oil. Had some, we use it.
Yeah, that's our trick. That's like our go-to. That's our move.
We can Molotov cocktails.
Burn cultists alive.
Now,
Well, that's fine.
to your knowledge, nobody knows that you are here. You could, in theory, attempt to just make a discreet exit. I'm not saying that you should. I'm just letting you know that you're not currently under attack.
How are we going to get information, though?
That is a good point. I'm just letting you know that
Want
I'm not
some payback.
I'm not forcing you into combat here. You have the option to not do it.
Yeah.
But okay, so
we need to keep one somewhat alive.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
So Tycho, you're the closest to the door. I want you to give me a perception check. You can hear talking on the other
Is
side.
it the tongue? The weird tongue they were speaking in?
The plan is nearly ready.
Oh, is that one that Shalim can understand?
I can understand it.
Korak.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. What did you hear?
Is this door
They're
locked?
mentioning their plan is nearly ready.
The door is locked, yes.
All right. What do we think,
All right,
team?
Tycho. What's our strategy?
So anyway, they start shooting or start blasting.
So I started blasting. Well, like I said, I have a flashbang. They could probably do some.
Do we have an idea of how many are in there? We can only hear one voice, or is it maybe beyond 5?
Tycho, you were unable to tell. You can only really hear one distinct voice and at least one other person that they're talking to. So you know that there's at least 2 people in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we open the door and go in, we could, we at least want to make sure that whoever's in there, that they're going to hear us perhaps if we break in, or if we just go banging through there. But that doesn't necessarily confer a disadvantage if we counteract it with something, say, like fairy fire. That could be, and they can't. They are going to be less likely to be able to get away from us, and anybody who attacks them would have advantage if the attacker can see it at least. Yeah.
So somebody's got to pick the lock probably because it's locked.
Yeah. Yeah. How quietly do you think one could pick a lock, Lynx?
Just reading the message
I don't
from
know
the
why.
horrible dark priest.
Can you hear me?
We can now.
We can.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Yeah, let's pick some locks.
Okay.
I'm hearing something else from inside. It says, "Find the courier. I will return upon your success to open the vessel, or upon your failure to dispose of you."
Yeah, that's probably Vor.
Yeah.
If I go into sneak mode first, will that like help me be quiet when I'm picking locks? Does it work that way?
Yes.
Sweet. I go a sneaky.
So roll stealth and then roll thieves' tools.
Okay.
So should we? I mean, look, we have to consider the option that maybe we shouldn't do this, like break in and start popping heads.
What's everybody's
There we go.
action that they're preparing?
Yeah.
All right, I got the flashbang ready.
Okay.
And the pistol drawn. Yep.
And then Furiosa, what is your plan?
While you're while you're hitting them with that, I would like to run in and hit them with fairy fire. And so if they fail their deck saving throw, they'll shine light so that we can see them better. And any attack against them will have advantage as long as they can see it.
And okay, and then Vord, did you just step away?
No, I am all good. I'm gonna prepare acid stream, I guess.
Okay. And then Korok, what's your plan?
I'm going to ready my light crossbow.
Okay. So here's how this is gonna work. You guys get your surprise rounds, and we're gonna go in order of closest to furthest from the door. So Lynx opens the door and ducks to the side, and then Tycho, I don't know how to make it your turn. So the flashbang goes off, and a burst of light fills that room briefly as the rest of you shield your eyes. DC 18. Stunning these three. There we go. And then Furiosa gets the chance you to do your thing.
Fairy fire.
Fairy fire.
Do you want,
Go
me,
ahead.
do you want me to walk forward and do it?
You're gonna have to do it from where you are.
Okay.
Because this represents the door being thrown open and then you guys just like unloading.
Okay.
Suck it, coach.
All right, you got all 4 of those.
Got him.
Your fairy fire, and then Voraviel.
Blue. It'll be blue.
I'm gonna use Toll the Dead.
Okay.
Hooray!
A strange droning noise, similar to what the polyhedron sings to you, but in a louder, less pleasant tone, bursts forth from your staff and surrounds the dark priest whose blue fairy fire flames flicker
Outlined
briefly.
in blue, yep.
And then Korok.
No.
Your crossbow bolt barely skims the side and catches a little nick and then does a wild flip as it clatters down the hallway. And then with that, the clap of your shell cheeks has alerted the guards. And we begin the first round of combat, starting with Tycho.
Hell yeah, let's do this. Then I will blast and then move into one of the room corners or whatever.
Do it.
All right, let's see. Ray gun.
Always a popular choice.
I do attack. I do a normal roll. And then I do damage. Normal damage? Yeah.
Yeah.
There goes. Pew!
As
And then I
the
gotta move.
stunned cultists kind of sway from side to side and attempt to see through the blindness induced upon them by the flashbang. The energy bolt sort of skims him as he's doing this. Even though your shot was true, he got lucky this time. You notice another cultist that you previously did not see in front of some sort of terminal whips around. He does not seem to have been affected by the fairy fire or the flashbang.
Uh-oh.
That's bullshit.
And then this guy is stunned, so he can't do anything. Lynx,
All right. Cunning action to sneak.
Critical.
Damage and critical.
Well, because you were hidden, and you rolled a critical
Oh, because
hit,
I'm a sneaky boy.
and you took him down in one shot.
Hell yes.
Uh,
Amazing.
Out of like,
And
out of the shadows, a bright flash of steel appears and then disappears, and the cultist that you saw in front of the terminal, Tycho, slumps onto it, smearing its controls with blood. The chaos that has suddenly ensued, the dark priest who is standing on this altar steps through some sort of portal behind him, which then closes as he steps through.
Wait, one of them got away?
Yes, one of the guys stepped through the portal, and then the portal went bye-bye. And then more cultist action. Hooray! Stunned. Korok.
All right. It's time to cast Sacred Flame.
You can move forward further in if you would like to get
I
better.
would very much like to.
Get in here, War Turtle.
Now it's time to cast Sacred Flame. Damn it.
Not a whole lot of damage, but a solid hit. Anything else with your turn?
I'm going to make way for our compatriots to come through, and if they so desire.
I have to move you one square over because that would end you on top of Lynx.
Oh. Whoops.
And then stunned. Furiosa. Followed by Voreviol at the bottom of the round.
I'm gonna ice knife this person. Oh, you know what? I put normal, but I realized it technically should be advantage because I'm attacking.
Well, it hit either way.
Good. Okay. Cool.
With a knife.
Jeez.
A seriously large chunk of damage.
Sweet.
Anything else?
If you need to hurry it up, then I'm just gonna say no.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Voreviol, now you can do your things.
Woohoo! I'm gonna do a Chaos Bolt.
Chaos Bolt. That sounds fun.
It is. Ooh, and it hit, I think.
And no, it did.
Hooray!
What?
That's all me.
So roll a d8. Oh, sorry, no. Here, roll. Never mind. I just did it on accident for you.
Yay! Yeah.
All right, so
Quicker than
that's
for you to do it.
gonna be fire damage. It was the guy in the middle for 18 fire damage.
Burn.
Is he weak to fire? No. So then it's just 18. Boop boop. He has been goodbyed.
R.I.P.
All right, top of the next round is Voreviol.
Oh gosh.
High off his recent kill.
Let's just go.
Letting the rage out after the after the nap
Yeah.
there.
He just like melted some dude, and we're all just like, oh.
Well, since I'm on a roll, there we go. I'm acid streaming this fella.
Nice.
Ooh, God.
Yeah. All right. So you have coated him with acid. Anything else?
That's all me.
All right. This cultist snaps out of stunned, but cannot do anything else for his turn. That guy's dead. Lynx.
All right. I think we all know what I'm gonna do.
What are you doing?
Sneaky sneak.
I didn't know that you would have done that.
I'm full of surprises. Ah, yeah.
Nice.
Then I'm gonna stab a bitch.
Ooh.
Pick a
I'm gonna
bitch
try to
and
stab a
stab
bitch.
them. I mean, you've got so much advantage right now.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Jeez.
Another critical hit.
Oh, goddamn,
Dang.
I'm on fire.
You guys didn't even... The last that you saw of Lynx, they were in the corner, and then all of a sudden they're standing over another corpse.
I'm like Batman, but evil.
Korok.
This is funny because this is like the opposite of my normal like experience with D&D. I'm usually like a barbarian that does like ridiculous amounts of damage, and now I'm playing a professor who shoots for 1 point of damage.
Shadow Sting. That looks like it hit.
Roll damage.
Yeah.
You shoot with your
I think it's
intelligence.
ridiculous.
You shoot with your books.
Yeah. It's kind of nice not to be the damage soaker for once.
Hit him with the words.
4 damage with the Sting of the Shadow.
Woo.
Truly, the pen is mightier than the sword. Beat him with a book.
Ah, yes.
You can
The
kill him with a pencil.
penis, my dear.
Wait, what?
But
Will
will
it-
it work?
Will it
Oh,
really
what?
mighty my penis?
Penis.
Alright, that's Korok's turn. Tycho.
All right. I guess I'm gonna bum rush this guy. Just absolute tackle, WWF style tackle.
A stunner.
'Cause we're supposed to keep a guy alive so we can question him.
Ah, yes, of course.
Yeah, I keep melting everybody.
What do I roll for just a tackle?
Athletics. I believe it's just athletics.
Let's do it.
You might have to roll to hit, but I don't think that that's going to be an issue in the current state of this guy.
I was gonna ask, is he still stunned or anything? Is there an advantage, or is it just?
There's advantage because he's got fairy fire on him, but he's not stunned anymore. Yep, that'll do it. He is now
Oh
grappled.
my.
Alright, cool.
Grappled.
I have a bunch of rope. Do I have the enough turn to start to wrap?
You won't be able to start binding him just yet because, well, somebody else will probably have to do it because you're holding him. You're grappled with him.
Okay. Yep. There's a bunch of rope in my bag. Someone get it.
Furiosa.
That would be me. Okay. I grab the rope. Wait, where's it at? Where's it at in your bag? Left
I have a
pocket?
bag. Just yeah.
We don't. It's fine. You don't have to actually do the thing. Roll athletics to see if you can get him tied up. You can make it with advantage
Me?
because grappled. Yes.
Okay.
And then that will be against his. Yeah, no, you got him. You got him.
Yeah, like, I like flexing my muscles.
He has been restrained. And it seems like for the plot portion of our game that is where we are going to have to stop. So, the outro, right. With the cultists defeated and a prisoner taken, will the party be able to extract relevant information from this captured cultist? And what of this strange new companion, Voravail? Where does he fit into all of this? Let's find out next time on the next exciting episode of the Tales from Tenrei.
Tenrei.
Also, everybody,
5 natural 20s in that session.
I know that was ridiculous. I think I think when you have double advantage, you auto crit, but I don't know for sure. No, never mind. It just got lucky.
That was awesome.
Anyway, everybody fucking donate money to me. The last week this particular last 2 days have stressed me the fuck out. You're all welcome for making a custom movie that you all get to enjoy. Give me your money. But otherwise, yeah. Good game today.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it, dude.